final question here is Beth here. I'm focused on long-term results. Definitely out of shape at the moment. I'm watching what I'm eating and taking it easy on the drink. This is a 6-month plan for me. I'm doing 3 weight sessions a week, 2 cardio sessions, and core 5 times a week. Is this right? I've heard some influencers say there is no point in doing core.
Right. There's a lot of movement in that week, isn't there? Yeah. Okay, where to start with that? Okay, long-term health for a female, you look at how does that look? Stronger bones, stronger muscles, and a relatively healthy weight and a relatively healthy waistline. There's 4 kind of indicators for long-term health progression. Like bones will get stronger from lifting things, so lifting weights. Yep, that'll tick that box. And diet, obviously, as well. Muscle mass, it's use it or lose it. We know that. Waistline is where you store fat. Core work doesn't impact your waistline in terms of the visibility of your waistline. It doesn't shrink it. It doesn't dramatically reduce it. It doesn't make it more shapely. It doesn't really do anything to it. What it does is this core work strengthens the core. Core works from your belly button through to your spine and around the sides of your and the sides of your body. That kind of that circle, if you like. It's what's on top of your core is fat, muscle, and fat mass. So that's the challenge. Core work doesn't hit that. Doesn't spot reduce it. It just gives you a stronger core. Now, if you're worried about your core, you go to physio. Physio says you have a weak core. Great. You can strengthen that. Easy. There should be some core work in your workout, but like every workout that you do works your core. If you do a squat and press, that's core work. If you do a leg press, there's core work in pretty much all of it. And then maybe one core exercise in the workout, like a plank or, I don't know, hanging leg raises or something like that. And be quite specific. In terms of, for that lady, you need to look at, can you keep that level of output up over the course of 12 months? No, you can't. No, I wouldn't imagine so. So you pair it back to doing the workouts, integrate the core work into the weights workouts. That's important. And then the cardio on its own. Great. You look at what progress actually looks like. If it's weight loss, there's a lot of output there. But eating well, weight loss should come. And there's just a lot in it. There's a lot of exercise.
Yeah, 5 days, and it's kind of varied.
There's a lot of output, right? So I would. If that person came to me privately, I would look at burnout being the biggest problem.
Okay.
And potentially that it's a too big a change. Bring it down, pare it back, have some more mindful content, some more mindful time, whether it's yoga, Pilates, Tai Chi, mindfulness, a bit more regulatory. There's a lot of output there, a bit more regulatory movement, if that makes sense.
Yeah, sort of
stuff. And just tracking the progress through whatever parameters, whether it's weight, muscle, fat, all the usual ones that we talk about. But that's a heavy load now from what the person's doing. Yeah.
And would you sub out the core, and as you said there, you'd make it part of the weights?
I would, yeah. And then I would, at the extra time, just fill it with stuff that you like. Go sit on the couch, watch a movie.
Yeah.
You know, it has to balance out. Like it's different if that person says, listen, I've got a movie to make in 4 months' time. I'm under serious pressure and I have to get in a certain shape for the movie. That's a slightly different thing.
Yeah.
Or of a wedding, or like we've had that before over the years. We've had clients email us saying, when we're getting married in 6 weeks, I can't fit into my wedding dress. What are we going to do? And I was like, okay, well, we look at it and, we put, it's different.
Yeah. When you have 6 months, it's that's a long-term plan. And that's what people generally approach.
So you might need to, the person might need to just pare it back a little bit and make that. I'm like, again, going to the gym is great. It's very trendy, but like spending 2 hours in the gym is pointless. You should be in and out in an hour max. There's no need to hang out there for 2 hours unless you really have nothing else to do. But like the quality to time ratio there is very low. You might spend 2 hours there, but really only you'd be faffing around for half of it.
So just in relation to that, then, if you're, say, for example, you go in for a cardio session, what are you doing optimally if you have an hour in the gym? Are you going and you want to do cardio? What are you doing?
You take your pick.
No, but you personally.
Personally, at the moment, it's all swimming.
Yeah.
And running.
But if you go into a gym and you said, I have an hour here.
What would I do with it? 5K run, treadmill.
Right.
Maybe spin if they haven't got if they've no pool, spin bike, rower, 15 minutes on each, whatever I feel like. I don't really have a. Yeah, it depends whatever I feel like.
Yeah.
There's no mad roadmap. If it's in a pool, it's different now because that's what I'm training for. So all my structures into that at the minute. Yeah, 5k run intervals, or you could do 10k run intervals. I like running of all the
Yeah.
cardio. If I'm to pick one machine, treadmill by a mile,
Yeah, big time.
just because that's what I prefer.
And then say for example, this lady here, Beth, if she's cracking into a 6-month program, should she start at 2 days a week weights or 3 days a week weights, and then like if
Depends
she
on the
likes
fitness
it,
levels going into it.
Yeah.
So if you are a total beginner, you go one weight session, build it up because you're going to be sore.
Mm.
Going to be really sore. There's no crack there. Start easier and build it. We do see a lot of that kind of content in the photo shoots now. That's really trendy online as well. Training for a fitness photo shoot with a fitness photographer.
Yeah.
Where it's extreme, it's obsessive. If people do it, that's cool. That's their thing. But you do see profiles like that in terms of the volume of movement that are being put in. We always look at the longer term project and say, well, like 12 months down the line, can you do this or not? Because if you work really hard to get to it and you get there, look at the level of output required to get to that point. Once you take the foot off the accelerator in terms of how much output you're putting in, the deficit's just not there. So if you're having to put that volume of effort in to get to a certain number or results, once you begin to lift the volume, the numbers are going to go up. Where if you take your weight off steadily with a normal amount of deficit, well then that's maintainable long term, and that's what we aim to do with people, you know.
And enjoy your life as well.
Life's short. You have to live. Like that's crucial. So I sound like the old fogey here now, but I'm aware of that. But like, you see these things come time and time again, and you see these approaches come. We always pull back now to long term, lifelong. Can you do it? Can you not? How to make this work for you lifelong, and lifelong changes, which are always smaller changes as opposed to big ones. Big ones don't last in the long term. They never do.